Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do an unboxing video today, which is kind of rare. I don't do that many of them, but this piece I think deserves it. First of all, it's from McIntosh, which is a legendary brand. Lots of fans of McIntosh just in general. But the specific model number, the MC3500, is kind of rare. It just got re-released, so not many people have even seen this yet, and certainly not heard it. And so I'm going to give you both in a separate video. I'll give you audio tracks, but I'll talk about that in a second. First of all, from the unboxing and the history, this amp dates back 50 years, and I think was used in Woodstock and Grateful Dead. So it's got a long legacy. Obviously, this is the official Mark II version 50 years later. So there's obviously been some updating of the circuit and tubes and all that jazz, but it shares a lot of the same flavor aesthetically, which is different from traditional McIntosh pieces you've been seeing recently. I think you'll enjoy that. But also I decided, hey, unboxing is pretty simple. And even the audio clips side, I'm going to have a little fun with that video too. So you're going to want to, I'll link it at the end. That's going to be a little fun. I'll play a little almost Hans Gruber-ish with that video. You'll see what I mean later. But with this video, instead of just doing unboxing, I thought I'd give you a little extra value as well. I took a little tour of 3MA while I was there to showcase a lot of other gear that they have either on trade or brands they represent, because they get some amazing used gear there that I rarely even see and haven't seen for 20 plus years that are still really great pieces. And so I took a tour and I included this in the video, and I thought it'd be good to make this channel more interactive. If you see anything in their store that you want me to review or do a video on, I'm happy to do it. I know those rooms almost like as well as I know my room, because I've been going over there for several years, a couple times a week. We've hung out a lot. So I can give you a lot more than just a random dealer room or showroom analysis when you don't really know what's room versus gear. I do know these rooms really well and can give you the honest scoop of what's room versus the gear that you're hearing. So I'm happy to do that with this video. But again, at the end, I'll link the video with the music clips where it's paired with the Rockport Cygnus, which is a great speaker as well. And I think you'll enjoy those music clips and a little fun I have in the process. Okay, without further ado, let's take a look at the MC3500. Silver finish, not.
How did you do that?
Very rare, huh?
I've never seen one.
Well, it's two-tone.
Oh yeah, it's got. Okay.
It's front heavy.
Need some help. Don't do yourself, man.
Yeah.
All the transformers are in the front. First look at the MC3500 re-release. Okay guys, let me jump in real quick before I give the tour of 3MA and showcase some other gear in the store. Again, feel free to give me comments on anything you want me to do a review on or a video on in the future. Make this interactive. But I thought I would jump in just to give some preliminary assessments of the McIntosh MC3500. I'll have the video with audio clips next and more commentary, but it brings up a macro point that I wanted to get across in terms of evaluating amps. This one's going to be done strictly at this point with the Rockport Cygnus. And anybody that does reviews of amps and makes categoric conclusions of best they've ever heard or best this, that, and the other, all those things may be true to them and their experience, but you really have to evaluate amps in the context of what speakers they're driving, and even sometimes the preamp they're using. In this case, we're using a carry, but really it's the speaker they're driving and the amp that can make all the difference in the world. Because for a lot of people, a flea watt tube amp, 10 watts, could be heaven, the best amp they've ever heard, with a certain horn speaker or a friendly impeded speaker. But on the flip side, that flea watt tube amp isn't going to do anything with an MBL. So it's all within context of how the speaker and the amp mate. And traditionally, I've been more of a solid state guy because a lot of the speakers I've owned in the past have required a little more power and wanted the advantages of solid state for delivering current versus tubes. But in this case with the MC3500, you're getting 350 watts of tube power, which I was very impressed, and you'll hear in the next clip with the audio clips how powerful the bass is with this tube amp. So here you have a tube amp that can drive almost any speaker. Aesthetically, I tell you, I wasn't too sure about the two-tone color combo, but once it got out of the box and set up on a stand, and then you see underneath the cages, the layout of the tubes is beautiful. If you want to remove the cage, either way, it looks great. Really great job on the refresh and the aesthetics. I kind of like it even better than the other McIntosh aesthetically. And sound wise, I'm almost at the point now, I haven't spent a ton of time with it, but preliminary indications, once you get it warmed up, tubes do take a little time to get warmed up, but this was a very impressive amp with the Rockport Cygnus. And again, I have to confine it to just that comparison at this point. Haven't tried it on anything else, but with 350 watts, if you're in the market, if you like McIntosh, if you like tubes, if you like to be able to play loud and drive almost any speaker, and if this is in your price budget, this might be one to look at from both aesthetically and sound. It would be one I would audition. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a little more of 3MA audio and some stuff that you may want me to do videos in the past. Give a comment. And then I have a second video released today. I'll link it at the end where you can listen to some audio clips and a little twist I added. Okay, quick tour of some other gear. Grant Fidelity. Chinese, but I think they're based out of Canada, but made in China. I've seen them at shows, haven't heard one, haven't seen anybody ever own one, but now one came in on trade. Very substantial chassis, not a chi-fi, cheap made stuff. In fact, chassis-wise alone, much heavier and more substantial than some of these ARC pieces. Now, whether it can audibly stand up, we'll have to put that to the test, but let me show you some other rare stuff you won't see very often come through. Used Aesthetics 3-box phono. And then probably even more rare is this Walker. We don't have the Walker turntable. That used to be the biggest deal back in the day. The Walker turntable. 20 plus years ago, people lusted after that. I'm sure people would still love to have it today. Some really cool speakers. You're probably all familiar with these. Let's see if there's anything else. Our friend Doug's old Lumen Whites. Those are beautiful speakers. Accuton drivers, ceramic. This is in like new condition, so anybody looking for a used speaker that really nobody would know is used, and I think these go for like $50,000 now. Really going up in price. Bassist turntable. This one has a vacuum. You can kind of tell, but be careful when you buy a vacuum turntable that the noise of the vacuum doesn't offset any advantages that you have from using the vacuum. If you've seen previous videos, Tate's racks have really dressed up the MBL instead of just laying them on the floor. It looks really nice. Then we got a Chronos turntable. Really tweaky you can get with this, even changing these screws to titanium, changing the oil bearing, all kinds of stuff they're playing with. See if it makes a difference. Acoustic signature, another high quality turntable. And I think, well, this is about a $20,000 laser projector from Sony, for those that are into that. Mostly in here, all state-of-the-art great gear. There's another AccuPhase. This went with those amps that they previously sold. It's their power conditioner. It's an interesting piece. Alright, that's an update for now. Let's go see if we can't get the McIntosh hooked up, and I'll do some video for you that in the future.